Hi, welcome everyone. I'm excited to share the journey of my latest project, redesigning the hair treatment purchase experience for Man Matters in order to boost conversions. Today, I'll take you through a journey of a person named Ravi as he navigates the app to find his hair loss solution. So, let's get started. Meet Ravi, who is experiencing rapid hair loss. As an unmarried man, he is now feeling the urgency and is highly motivated to regrow his lost hair. In such situations, emotional factors like social pressure and desire for self improvement come into play, making his purchase behavior entirely driven by emotions. So, in such cases, personalized support, empathy, and building trust are essential to prevent any skepticism during the buying process. Now that we have a clear understanding about Ravi, let's walk through his journey. First, as a new user, Ravi taps on Assess Yourself upon entering the app and begins his self assessment. He starts with an interactive chat based questionnaire that keeps him engaged while educating him with each response. This questionnaire instills hope that he can manage his hair loss. However, some challenges arise, such as encountering unfamiliar terms in the questionnaire like DHT and DHT blockers. When users don't understand these terms, they may turn to Google, increasing the risk of drop offs. But it's more likely they will expect a detailed explanation in the report after submitting the questionnaire, creating a curiosity gap at this stage. Due to such unfamiliar terms and length of the questionnaire, Ravi may skip reading important information and focus solely on completing the lengthy questions, potentially missing key insights along the way. So, as Ravi finishes the questionnaire, he remains highly motivated as the app promises him a personalized doctor report and a call with doctor. But what should be a quick solution movement turns into a questionable aspect of the app, raising concerns about its reliability. First, the screen loads almost instantaneously after Ravi completes a lengthy questionnaire. This instant display of results, combined with push for expensive products, he questions whether the app truly processed this information, leading him to believe the app might be showing default data which fosters mistrust and potentially lower conversions. Though this is a negligible issue, improving this experience can significantly impact user trust. So, how do we address this first? So, it can be addressed and solved by introducing a labor perception screen right after submitting the questionnaire. This enhances the user experience and elevates the peak. While people generally dislike waiting, users with high expectations, such as for analysis and reporting, become skeptical if the waiting time is too short. A carefully crafted delay like this can increase the perceived value of the results by up to 15%, which reassures users about the quality of the process. Here's how the screen is structured. We are first priming users with subtle visual suggestions to influence the users. Next, we are acknowledging their efforts and making sure they have been heard. We are a bit more welcoming. Finally, giving a glimpse of what is in the report helps users to know what to expect and storing their short term memory, which makes them recognize things faster. Additionally, here I tried an AI based hypothetical growth experiment to establish a stronger trust factor, enhance personalization, and elevate the peak, which also addresses other issues. So, we'll discuss more about this at the end. Now, let's dive into the actual report. As Ravi moves on to the actual report, he encounters a series of questions. First, he notices the report is labeled as wellness report, but recalls the app promised a personalized doctor report during the questionnaire. If the questionnaire is promising a personalized doctor report but delivers a wellness report instead, it may lower conversions due to mismatched expectations. So, consistency in terminology is crucial for maintaining trust and meeting users' expectations. Next, Ravi reads Act Now to Prevent Full Balding and questions Is this just about preventing hair loss? What about improvement? Isn't regrowth possible? So, this scenario combines loss aversion and user shaming, which doesn't create a positive impression. It's often better to highlight a positive benefit to help users envision better versions of themselves rather than focusing on the shortcomings. But here, A B testing is required to know if this needs to be reframed positively or if the current fear based messaging is working well, as it might be a trade off that affects the overall net perceived value of the experience. Next, Ravi sees a red bar graph and tries to understand what does the 55% figure here represent. So the red bar graph might suggest loss aversion, but if poorly executed by lacking support and documentation, it can lead to confusion. For instance, if the indicator is suggesting the hair fall is at stage 3 due to its proximity with the above content, so being 55% here suggests being halfway through 4 stages. So users, because users interpret there are 4 stages while answering the questionnaire. However, being halfway or 55% actually implies he's at stage 2 of 4, which can be confusing. When users encounter something vague, they'll have questions and doubts. The best way to convince them is to address as these arise. So, additionally, there is also minute miss on consistency and standards where images and the tone of voice are not aligned with the previously answered questionnaire. Now, due to lack of help and documentation, Ravi may get questions like, what is here for stage 3 exactly? How many stages are left before I go bald, etc. The above questions may lead Ravi to do a Google search and lead them outside of the app, which may have bounce off and impact conversions. In some edge cases, users may get overwhelmed by the results and may seek to take retest or edit their answers, which is not possible as there is no help on recognizing, diagnosing, and recovering from errors. So, how do we solve this? So let's start by reframing the information so it aligns with users' motivations as it helps them interpret information more effectively. So how do we do this? First, the term wellness report was changed to doctor's report for consistency in terminology and reduce mismatched expectations. Next, by rephrasing the term diagnosis to assessment to reduce anxiety by being more approachable and less clinical, the bar graph smoothly transitions from 0 to 55% active hair loss, providing a clear visual representation of stats and enhancing the feel of a report. The bar graph also makes the issue feel more tangible and urgent, which can increase the motivation to act. Additionally, if you can notice, the picture transitions were added to aid consistency and standards and to eliminate any doubts and interpret the information better. Now, a new model is introduced to address users' questions on hair for stage 3 before they arise, preventing them from seeking information elsewhere. Another new addition is use of visual anchor to highlight what's at stake if they delay, to reinforce loss aversion and maximize engagement. With the issue solved, let's proceed. Let's explore the root causes of the hair loss. First thing in root causes Ravi encounters is just information about stage 3, which is not a root cause, and that is unrelated information. So adding unrelated information, even if it educates the user, can distract them, cause confusion, waste their time, and reduce credibility of the report. As he scrolls through the root causes, Ravi encounters DHT again. This time it's marked as critical but finds default information. This might prompt Ravi to search for answers elsewhere, leading to a potential bounce off. Also, the person in the image has full head of hair. How does this relate to users' hair loss situation? The disconnect between visuals and users' personal experience can make the content very less tangible, relatable, and further erode trust. Now, Ravi tries to view all root causes. When viewed all root causes, when click on view all, Ravi notices that hair loss can be addressed by tackling root causes within 6 months. But he wonders why the earlier messaging only emphasized on prevention. He's also frustrated that critical information like this was hidden until now, creating confusion. As he reaches the end of the root causes, it doesn't quite inspire confidence in Ravi because information presented may seem too Googleish and too generic, leaving the doubt of fabricated personalization of root causes. The use of irrelevant and inconsistent images, extensive scroll, and hidden access for critical information might cause unnecessary friction and reduce psyche. All of the above issues may dilute credibility as every touchpoint is crucial, especially when we are selling high cost treatments. For conversions, it is known that one needs to build up psyche before a big ask. Here, the big ask is to make users buy medicine. Before we solve this, in recent developments, the app removed the root causes section and replaced it with extensive scrollable section which explains about the treatment. I wondered what might have led to this decision. So one, the root causes may be removed since users are very worried and tend to make impulsive purchases, ignoring root causes entirely. But it's observed in user behaviors that knowing details about the causes of their hair loss is most anticipated point. Also, knowing why behind their condition significantly influences their decision to trust the app and make the purchase. So I try to retain the root causes and redesign the experience, as this will also talk about providing value before pushing sales. Here's the redesign. As you can notice, one significant change in the redesign of root causes is focuses solely on discoverability, which is a key feature in interpretation of information before acting on it. As root causes seem like they have something to hide, the biggest goal here was to improve hierarchy and build trust. Let's see how to solve that. Firstly, by switching to a single vertical view ensures important information isn't hidden, also improves readability and provides more context to information and educates the user. When people need to take action, we need to keep their cognitive load as less as possible. And this redesign makes it familiar pattern as a doctor's report. So shorter titles for better scanning, smaller sentences for better reading, and often uniform iconography is used. The redesign also ensures redundant images have been removed and replaced with icons, which reduces the visibility of secondary elements and enhance the focus on primary elements, directing attention to the root causes. Additionally, a new header section where clear mention of number of root causes to invoke curiosity and showing number of people already using the app to build social proof to increase ability to act. Additionally, a new medical policy is also linked as a new addition to the redesign, as there were concerns on side effects and questions about regulations of man matters medicine suggestions. So this is so the more intrusive and risky an action is, the more transparent we should be about it. As hair loss solutions such as minoxidil and finasteride have long-term usage and potential side effects, usage should be clearly disclosed in disclaimers and warnings. This approach ensures ethical design and builds trust by addressing authenticity and providing clear informative transparency. As educating users was important, with this newly added model, which provides detailed information about each root cause, users gain clearer understanding on DHT or how dandruff or stress is related to their hair loss. This helps to educate them on factors behind their hair loss. Now that the redesigned root causes educate the user, it strengthens their mindset and increases their willingness to invest in medicine as they move on to the treatment section. However, the final treatment section, which should be straightforward by now, actually presents critical usability issues. The core problems are addressed in detail. Be sure to check part 2. Thank you.